Now on this channel right here, I do not shy away from a good marketing gimmick, especially ones that have to do with sewing patterns. Because I have now tried to sew something entirely in an hour without a pattern, the walkaway dress, which claimed you could start it after breakfast and walk away in it for lunch, and the 3-armhole dress, which I guess is less of a marketing gimmick and more just a way in which the pattern was, but it felt pretty gimmicky, so I'm going to count it. However, I remember deep in the recesses of my brain seeing this one time, and saving it, thank God, something called the 20-minute blouse. Oh, and don't you worry, I printed it out just so I wouldn't forget. Yes, indeed, folks, this fine pattern swears no seams, no sewing up.
Sure, Jan.
I'm not joking. Right there, right at the top, right there. Yeah, no, they actually came out here with their whole chest and said there's no sewing to this. And listen, my first instinct is to absolutely say bullshit to all this entire thing. However, that's not why I'm here and making this video, because we're gonna try it out. And by we're, I mean, sure, I'll put all my information as I go along on the screen. And if you would like to attempt one of these as well, join me, please. I would love to see if someone can actually do this with no sewing and no hot glue. Let's dive into what this actually says, though. Oh, wait. I need a distinguished chapeau. Do I have one of those? Probably not. This is what I've got. You have only to look at the little diagram on the left of the illustration on this page to appreciate at once the simplicity of the construction. A quick worker could easily make it in 20 minutes.
Sure, Jan.
And even an amateur dressmaker couldn't possibly be very long over the work of making. The design has a becoming shawl appearance and, as will be seen from the diagram, is cut from a square of material. A portion of the square is cut away, the corners slashed in about 4 inches as shown by the dotted lines on the diagram. There are no seams whatsoever. You merely catch it together under the arms with buttons and loops. Now listen, I'm not here to say that the headline writer of this and the person who wrote the body of the paragraph are two different people, but I'm really, really wondering, how do you think person who wrote this in probably the 1910s or maybe early 20s, how do you think a facing is gonna stay on that square of fabric there, dude? Or the binding? This is all things are sewn on. So the idea already that it's no seams, no sewing. No, I don't have another copy of this. We'll pretend like I have another copy of this. Out the window. Okay, I need that now. Is this fool's errand? Probably. Is this a blouse that I'm gonna wear all the time? No, definitely not. However, I still want to make it. And with tape measure in hand, let's try and figure this out, eh? So I started by getting my back center neck opening measurement. Like here to here, like almost hair to hair. Comfortably would be here, whatever that is. 9 inches. Then it was time to move on to the, quote, sleeve length. So from mid-arm all the way up and over my shoulders to the other mid-arm. But one question was already plaguing me. What happens when you go like that? Back to the task at hand. Carefully, I'm gonna like drape it like it's a scarf here. So let's say about on either side, all right, we'll just go over the shoulder is 37, and that would be the diagonal from point to point, here to here. But it's important to remember this is the shoulder opening diagonal, not the full diagonal of the fabric from selve edge to selve edge. I do appreciate though, it's got pockets. See that right there? Pocketses, yay! And the final measurement I wanted to get was from center back neck to a rough approximate of where the blouse should end on my lower back. So this point is that point. So then like there to there, 17 inches. But it's important to remember that I am bound by whatever width of fabric I currently have in my stash. What fabric do I have? Hang on, what are you? You would be kind of fun. Are you big? I don't even know what you are. This, I don't know. It's sitting here. What width are you? You're cut. That's not helpful. No, that's like 30. That's less than 32. Oh my God, no. What's this purple? It's bits. That's a bed sheet. That is a scrap. Oh my God. What are you? You're big and purple and thick.
That's what she said.
And polyester. Okay. Sure, maybe. Oh, this looks huge.
That's what she said.
We have a contender, whatever this purple thing is that I just pulled out from under my table. It is. Oh my God, it's 70. This is 70 inches wide.
That's what she said.
I don't think do I need 70?
A few moments later.
So while I think 70 and 70 might be a little bit of an overkill, I think my brain needs a little bit of a break, and we're gonna do that with today's sponsor, NOLA Mattress. But in case you haven't heard of NOLA before, they are an award-winning mattress brand known for its cooling technology, exceptional pressure relief, and long-lasting durability. And it's conveniently shipped to your door for free. Now you see, my husband and I got this fine mattress back in May of last year. And let me tell you, I love this mattress. It's so cozy. I never get too warm at night. And the bonus part, when my husband's a tossing and turning, I don't feel it. It's so great, because that used to be the thing that would wake me up all the time. And I know, I'm sure you hear this from a whole lot of folks, but this honestly is my everyday mattress. I sleep on this every single night, and I have a bag back from having my kid. And let me tell you, my back, zero issues in this mattress. On this mattress, if you will. And it's also super simple to set up. It comes delivered directly to your door in a nice little handy box. You take the mattress to the room in which you would like to release the mattress from its fiery plastic prison from whence it was shipped to you in. And then you do just that. You cut open the plastic, you let it rise, and Bob's your uncle, you have a brand new mattress. And you also get a 120-night sleep trial just to make sure you super-de-duper love this mattress. Oh, and if you're wondering, my husband and I went with the Evolution Comfort Plus because not only does it sleep great, but they also offer a limited lifetime warranty and offer financing and flexible payment plans. I love my NOLA mattress, and I think you would too. So, if you want a new bed to upgrade your sleeping situation, make sure you go to nolamattress.com/StephanieCanada and use my code StephanieCanada to get an extra $50 off of your next mattress. And yes, that's on top of whatever deal they're currently running. And if you want to help out the channel a little more, in the post-purchase survey, you can tell them that Stephanie Canada sent you. And thank you to NOLA for sponsoring today's video. But now I think let's head on back over to that project. And now, unfortunately, this does not fit. Folded, you must do it flat. One singular thing. One singular sensation. One singular sensation. And so I began the task of making it flat. But something kept nagging at me. This looks gigantic. Am I about to make a cape? But I wouldn't let that thought stop me from moving forward. Okay, and if there's one thing I know, it's that my tape measure, that one, is not the correct size. But that wasn't the only issue. It's not long enough. It's only 60 inches. No! Okay, well, we're gonna figure out what this thinks it is, and we'll go from there. So mine thinks this is 69 inches wide. So 69 divided by 2 is 34.5. 34 and a half is what I need. And that is what I set off to do. Marking 34 and a half with a pin along each segment of the, quote, pattern that needed to be marked. No, I couldn't find my chalk. Thanks for asking. It's just, I don't know where it went. Oh, perfect, 34 and a half. I did, in fact, measure that correctly. Great. So I continued on with measuring. Now I've got this all pinned out. I'm sorry for probably most of that being an absolute crap shot. Did I mention this tripod is at its tallest? And this is what I've got. So now I'm gonna make the little 4-inch slits where the neck's supposed to be. And then I'm gonna cut it out. And we're gonna see what type of poncho I've just made for myself. Because I don't think this is a shirt. They said I needed, oh my God, to do my floor workout apparently. So it's an extension. Like if these lines are my cut lines, it's an extension of these. So I'm gonna go, they said 4 inches. I don't know if I believe them, because like that's pretty small. We'll try, because I know the neck length I want. So one is there, and one is here. Can I pin this with my left hand? I don't know. Oh, I can, look at that. And then, is this 9 inches? No! So to get, I gotta be at 9 inches, so I gotta go up to here. So I need to be here and here, which is what? 6 1/4 to make that happen. Okay, and then that gets me my 9 inches across there. I can guarantee that is not gonna be 17 inches, but is it 36 from shoulder to shoulder is the real question. Oh my God. Oh my Lord, that's so big. That's 49 inches. Okay, well, I'm just gonna cut this out. This is gonna be a drape. This is gonna be a cape. This is gonna be a something, but only one way to really find out. This is the look the fabric gets. The fabric? Fabric.
Cutting it out went better than I expected. Then it was time to cut my neck slits / reavers, the extra 6 1/4 inches that I had marked.
Okay, and I have made a cape. Yeah, no, that's a cape there, right there, y'all. Hang on, you can't even see this whole thing. Let me just give you a full picture here. Don't judge the room. This is what
69 inches.
gets you. This is a cape. Not shabby for the first attempt, but now I'm gonna go figure out some math so I can maybe figure out, without wasting more fabric, actually what size I need to do. Because listen, it's been a minute since I've used algebra, but I guess we're about to go figure that out. Trig, geometry, I think it's geometry that I'm about to use. Anyway, it's been a minute. I'm gonna go do that now.
So I got on the horn with an engineering friend of mine to help me remember how to calculate the triangle I needed. And while it took even him a minute to go back that far in the math basics, he did eventually get there, and I am deeply thankful for his help. And yes, I did get permission to share this with you.
Well, that was a humbling experience. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've used any type of geometry. So while I appreciate that, my friend got us there to 25.45 inches. I don't have fabric that's 52 inches wide, or 51 inches wide, which is what that would be. So we're just gonna round down a little, and it shouldn't be too bad, right?
Wrong.
Because I do have this orange fabric right here, left over from the AI video where I tested out AI sewing patterns. But I do have this remnant. It is 48 inches.
Wrong.
It's just basically going down to like a 24-inch measurement at a time. So not too bad. It will be a little shorter. But again, if it's just a shirt, I'm not super worried. Hopefully the length on the back will be long enough. I don't know. So we're gonna see if 48 inches will do for this experiment. Oh right, and I gotta make pockets too. Can't forget the pockets. Pockets for life! It's me, Mario. Here we go. How wide does my tape measure think this is? Because that's important. My tape measure thinks this is... Oh, wait, what? I thought you were 48. Houston, we have a problem. Let me just show you. That's not 48. Guess back to the drawing table to go find actually wide enough fabric. Never mind. All right, fine. Let's see what we have in here. I don't friggin' know. No. 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 Wait a minute. What's this? You are something interesting. This is a very stained and sad piece of fabric that actually never got listed on my website because it's like it got dyed. Which means that hopefully maybe we can make this Try? I don't know. Let's find out. It's not washed. It'll be gross. It's fine. If I make this for realsies out of this, I will pick a not end piece and actually wash it. Because on this channel, yes, we wash our fabric. All right, what do we... Get those no's out of the way. What do we have? We have got... Yoinks. It's 46. I'm just gonna try it. We're gonna cut the other side 46 and make the little square, and we'll see if that's too short. You know, just, you know, do the math and then don't. I just don't have 51-inch wide fabric that I know of. That's how not straight this was. Oh, the line goes away as it lifts away from the fabric. Again, close enough.
Now with everything cut out for this new tester, it was time to lay it down.
I'm going to remind you, this is just to test this out. There's no way I'm using this piece. This is just to see if this works. And then, if it works, I will actually time myself tomorrow.
And get to marking everything out. But not without a realization first.
My tape measure thinks this is 46. Is my tape measure not wrong? I thought it was. Divides evenly into 23-inch sections, so let's do this all over again, eh?
And with that vote of confidence, I move forward doing the exact same thing I did last time, except
just past the fold line, which is just spectacular.
At 23 inches for all of my pin markings for the main rectangle. I did keep the same 6 1/4 inches for the neckline though.
Here comes the real question, will 46 work? So this is my back neck, 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm acting like there's closures or anything on this. There's not. There's the reverse happening already. Oh, hang on. That might be okay. I mean, I guess that's sort of what they wanted, right? Yeah, okay. The 46 will work. So I am going to spend the evening washing, prepping, you know, ironing, all of the things to get ready for tomorrow. And then we will actually time this out for real to see if I can really do this in 20 minutes. So I'll see you tomorrow. It's time to do this thing. Because I was sitting there having a conversation with a friend of mine and went, how exactly am I going to be doing this? And they looked at me dead in my face and said, why don't you just do what the headline says? No seams, no sewing. Which means it's time to bust out the secret weapon, which is Fabri-Tac. That's right. I'm gonna try to Fabri-Tac this whole thing together. Even just saying that sounds so silly. But you know what? If we're doing this exactly as they wanted, even though Fabri-Tac absolutely was not available in the 1910s, but you know what? Maybe there was some type of fabric glue. I don't know. But we're gonna give it a shot because they said no sewing, and we're gonna try no sewing. Oh, because if you were wondering what happens when you just cut it and you don't sew anything, you don't do anything, this nonsense right up top there, all the shreddiness inside here, all those tendrils, that's what happens when you don't sew it and then you wash it. So this is why you can't just cut it and use it. You do actually have to finish the edges that you have cut of the fabric. So I have got my blouse take 1. I have got my Fabri-Tac. I have got a giant hunk of bias tape that I'm gonna be gluing around the edges. Oh, I hate that sentence. This is for you. I hope you know. I'm doing this for you.
And for the no-sew closure, I opted to use a pre-made elastic loop from the 70s and ball trim.
Let the silliness commence. Step 1 is going to be laying out this very wiggly and loose fringed threaded blouse so I can trim off the edges. Listen, I'm here. We're here for the science of it all. Should mention I've never actually used this stuff before. Oh no, I really have bad feelings about this. Oh, I guess I should trim this little doodad away.
Dear viewer, If you are looking to make this same blouse, do not do this. Leave that flap on because it's supposed to be a back collar style as opposed to being cut away. But I'm not the boss of you, so do whatever you please.
I'm just gonna go straight across here. Point to point. It's a back center neck, by the way. All right, let's go. Small drop of glue. I don't know, is this the vibe? Hopefully this is the vibe. I just got glue on the wrong side. Tuck in, Brenda. What are we doing? Do I have to lay it like this? I have to lay it like this. Okay. I don't like doing that, but sure. Because then I can't see what I'm freaking doing. Oh, this is horrible. I hate this so much. Does it tell me? Quickly position with gentle pressure. Okay, I did that. Does that mean I can take my hands off and it's gonna stay? I don't know. Maybe? Ew, this is so silly. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Next line. Okay, smaller chunk. Oh, I forgot to start a timer. Okay, well I started this at 6:40 p.m. Oh no, you don't want to do that. Scheisse. Okay. Just kidding. These are going to be the worst because it doesn't turn because I glued it too close.
But you know what isn't the worst? Actually, far from it. That is the members of this channel. Because yes, I do have Patreon and memberships open on this channel, and that is to allow me the freedom to be able to create these videos with a non-specific timeline. Because, well, sometimes life gets in the way, and I appreciate every single person who has ever decided to be a patron or a member, even if it is just for a month or two. I am so thankful to every single one of you. And if you would like to join and be a part of the Chaos Crew, aka a patron or a member, you can always click the join button down below, or head over to patreon.com/StephanieCanada and become a patron over there. I try and do at least one extra video a month, and I give you little freebies as I find them in my stash, when I can, in between being a business owner, a content creator, a mom, and a person who just has too much to do. But how was I getting along? That's a great question. Let's go have past me answer that.
Yeah, that's already 35 minutes. That's just side one. So now I'm gonna flip it and reverse it and do side two. And I will let you know how long that takes right now. Well, I did it. It is all double-sided glued. It needs to dry just a little bit more before I can manipulate it. That took almost an hour just to glue both sides. So immediately, no, this was not possible. And also, my hands are actually disgusting and covered in glue, and it's hard to even see it, but like it's all there and it's terrible. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then we're going to figure out where to put this ball trim and loops, and then maybe be done with version 1.
A few moments later.
I have let this dry just a little. I mean, not a whole lot, but enough to at least give it has some like oomph. Now, I will say, the thing with this fine pattern is that it looks like I'm just like splitting the difference here. So like along this center, it looks like loops and buttons will be on either side. So it looks like those are just in the middle. And then like I'm splitting the shoulder with these. And if we look at her little blouse here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 5 little nubbins, and I need 5 of the elastic. This is the silliest thing I have ever done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a little like too short. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but that's fine. And then it's gotta go there. So I restarted my count at 750 and got going. And started by doing the front 2 trims, so the ball trim on one side, centering it at 11.5 inches. It's where I was so close. Pressing it into the table with all my hopes and dreams of this actually potentially maybe working. I just got these stupid things frickin' clean. And then I moved on to the elasticated side, which didn't go nearly as easily. I am once again covered in glue. Dear diary. She is once again covered in glue, and she hates it here. Send help. No! You're supposed to stay on the thing, not on my hand.
But I wasn't going to be stopped, so I switched to the outside trims and started gluing there.
God, that's stringing. And 15 minutes later, this is now done, which means that this now needs 24 hours to dry, right? Fine. This took me 53 plus 15 is an hour and 8 minutes to glue a shirt together. To questionably glue a shirt together. Now I gotta let this dry, and I'll see you tomorrow for the sewing test. Good morning. It's time to sew this thing together. Because listen, I know that a blouse must actually be sewn. You, I'm assuming, know that some type of top must actually have some level of thread through it. So, don't destroy your sewing machine for the bit, Canada. We're not gonna do it with white thread, we're not that chaotic. So while I change this bobbin, let me tell you what we're gonna do. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to be chaotic stitching the bias on. Because listen, again, this is still vaguely for speed, even though 20 minutes is not gonna happen. But what I can do is I can still try and do it as fast as I can, which means I'm going to be putting the bias on basically just folded and ready to go and just gonna top stitch it. That's just how I'm gonna do it because that's quicker. And then from there, I am going to be creating the loops out of bias. And then from there, once all of the loops are on, it'll be a matter of matching up the sides and actually sewing on buttons this time. Because no, we're not gonna be complete chaos gremlins and sew on the fluff trim because that's definitely not a, no, that would not have been a thing. And then once all the buttons and loops are on, the last step is going to be to add those side panels that it was describing so that maybe I don't flash everyone all the side things. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and thread this machine because if I do this, I will stop procrastinating doing this.
Thread the needle.
And turn around. Hello? There's no plug. It's down here, somewhere. Here. Oh, hey, look, it turns on when it's plugged in. Wild idea. But in proper Stephanie fashion, let's go grab the clock and get this started.
And grab the clock I did. Started at 2 p.m. However, just in case this time.
For good measure.
And with both things now running, it was time to do all the same steps over again, except this time, actually sewing them in place as opposed to gluing them. And I will say, since I wasn't gluing the trim this go around, I could actually do a vague miter corner. It's not the prettiest, but it did get the job done. And yes, I still did not look at the reference photo again, so I did cut away the neckline again. However, this time I added an extra 1 1/4 inch curve at the deepest to kind of make it fit my neck a little better. Because, you know, why would I look at the instructions? That's just silly.
So 30 minutes later, well, 31, I finally got the entire thing pinned. And I did not do this super slow. I also did not do this super fast. I did this at a standard pinning rate for a slippery fabric. I now get to go over to the sewing machine and actually sew this down. Already have completely just blown the 20 minutes right out of the water. It's fine. We knew that wasn't actually a thing, right? All right, that means bias tape is done at a little over 56 minutes. So clearly not winning any speed races here, and it's by far and away from my cleanest bias application. However, I have something that resembles a shirt now. And yes, I did just decide to show the wrong side of this. It's an experimental fabric. I'm not adding a facing for that.
And I repeated the same steps. I centered my front buttons at 11.5 inches, using 5 buttons to close the front. However, for the sides, I actually ended up only doing 3 long bias loops and 3 larger buttons, hoping that it would still provide the same level of security even though these loops were egregiously large. And then with some decent hand sewing from me, it was all done.
Finally done. It only took just a little bit longer than the 20 minutes. That took 2 hours. Again, I'm not like the best seamstress. I took a lot of shortcuts on this one. No fitting time because don't have time for that in a 20-minute challenge. But let me just give you a little preview here. This fine thing. If I were to put this up here, it's literally choking my arm. So I had to pin it down a button. Will that screw it up? Yeah, probably. But here's the thing with these type of like marketing gimmicky things. And yes, don't worry, I will show you both of them here at the end. Let me just share my thoughts first. Because why are we claiming this? What is the point? Because there is no world in which this was 20 minutes. There is no fabric that is woven tight enough to just narrowly cut along and it will just heal itself. And all you have to do is add buttons and loops. That's literally not a thing. It does not exist, especially in like the early 1920s. Now, could it exist now in like the form of a knit or a scuba? Yeah, maybe, sure, but I still think you need to finish those off to keep them from rolling. So I don't, could be wrong. If I am, tell me the name of this fabric in the comments because I've never heard of it. Once again, another marketing mystery, probably designed by a man.
And as promised at the beginning of the video, here is my diagram for how I made this happen. Should you either want to try it yourself or have modifications so that it might work a little better for you. I really wish you all the best, but I know this will not be a part of my permanent wardrobe.
But if you do want to join me in a sleep revolution with Nola, make sure you are clicking the link down below in my description and using my code StephanieCanada to get an extra $50 off of your next mattress, which does stack on top of whatever deal they have going on. But I think you've waited long enough. So let's go ahead and take a final look at these crazy blouses. Okay. I want to be out of this. This is not going well. And no, I didn't add pockets. I'm so sorry. There should be little tiny pockets right here. But no. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Oh, this is so silly. The design has becoming... I was clean. I washed my hands. I don't know why I did that.